Welcome back to I Love You 3000 Minutes, the podcast that traveled back in time, stealing Thanos himself's Infinity Gauntlet from an Infinity War before he could use it, and we took the Space Stone or Time Stone, whatever, and we used it to travel back in time so that we could rewatch the entire Infinity Saga from Iron Man 1 to Spider-Man Far From Home, one marvelous at a time. My name's Brian.
I'm Richard.
And this is the 50th minute of Iron Man 1. You enjoyed that literally 30 seconds ago.
Are you sure?
You laughed, right?
What, at a belch?
Yeah, didn't you laugh?
I don't remember.
I don't know. We'll see it. Play the clip.
I might have uneasily laughed, like, ah, ha, ha, ha. So, anyways.
Just inventing new laughs when I can show the clip. But Richard, what happened in this belch 50?
So Pepper is staring disapprovingly at Jim Kramer, and
I thought you meant from Seinfeld.
No. And so
Kramer.
all of a sudden,
I assume that there was theme music playing over my frozen arms crossed. So if anyone wants to make that,
Brian, you can't do that.
Oh, my bad.
This is so bad.
If anyone wants to make horrible music to that, please do.
We're at minute 50 here. Okay, so
I will shout you out on the podcast if you do it.
All of a sudden, Tony Stark calls up Pepper, like, "Hey, how big are your hands?" Strange question to ask your female butler.
He could have asked, "How big are your hands?" or "How big are your feet?" because they both mean the same thing.
So,
luckily, this is minute 50, and I will forget this gag by the next minute.
so Pepper, Gwyneth Paltrow, she is taller for a woman. Okay. And so, like, you would think she would have larger hands, but when she puts them up, they actually don't look like super long.
He says, "Oh, very petite."
Yeah. And so she comes down to the work room, the basement, or whatever, where Tony is lying prone on his back. And she's like, "What is this? What is this crazy he probably normally has her doing butler stuff, you know?" And so this is out of the ordinary. She's treating it as out of the ordinary. And he just says, "Hey, I'm having a little problem with the previous model."
She said, "Is that what's powering your heart or whatever?" And he says, "It was. It's an antique now."
Is that what's keeping you alive? Yes.
I knew I messed up with the hard thing. It's an antique now. I gotta swap it out with a upgrade, but I'm having a little issue. There's an exposed wire under this.
Mm-hmm. And so he's like trying to demonstrate to her as he's saying there's an exposed wire under this. He's like, "This thing's a piece of crap." And pops
it out. I remember you were like, "Oh."
Right. That wasn't very delicate for the thing, keeping you alive. So I don't remember the rest of the minute.
That's pretty much it. He says before he pops out, it's contacting the socket wall and causing a bit of a short.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, "What do you want me to do?" as he's handing it to her. And the whole line that says in the subtitle is, "Put that over there, it's irrelevant," but it cuts off right before he says irrelevant.
Yep. And so he tells her that, and she's still kind of uneasy, like, "You're making me handle all this, probably, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment."
Uh-huh.
Like,
are you talking about the arc reactor or his body?
Arc reactor. That's what I'm talking about.
I bet he's got a few muscles covered by insurance.
Yeah. And it's actually a slower minute, and it more carefully goes through the interaction between Pepper and Tony.
There's a little bit of a gentler score, if I remember. I'll rewatch it to double check.
Mm-hmm. And, it's a cute little action, little minute.
A little more tender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A few things that I caught was that he could immediately call her on the tablet she was looking at. Like his voice, whatever call comes through on her translucent tablet that she has at the beginning. Or she's on a computer and there's a tablet nearby which is taking mad money and projecting it onto the glass. It's like the holographic kind of glass that Christine Everhart woke up to.
Mm-hmm.
She's just able to cast the show onto the glass directly. There's no TV over there, and it's also 10:04 in the morning. And there's a few things. One, she's able to mute the show or pause it while she accepts his call. And there's a few things that also pop up when it has the call coming in. And it literally says, Pepper, how big are your hands? So I think it's transcribing his words. She says, accept. Wait, his audio is able to come through, but she has to accept it so that she can respond back. And there's a few options. It says settings, application, Bluetooth, media player, messaging, and something else, and also cancel and view. It also says mute, volume, save, and What's this last one?
Record.
Oh, she can record the call. It also says section 4 in the corner, and it's also transcribing her words. She says what as it continues, and it says I am an email in the bottom left-hand corner. This is all at the 8th second, if you're wondering. It has tools, contacts, settings, and it's also taking the volume levels at the bottom. And he responds, again, how big are your hands? And she says, I don't understand, get down here. There's a couple guitars in the background. I don't know if we spotted before. And she has a older cell phone on the table. There's also a landline on the table and very neatly rolled up newspaper. Is that a newspaper?
It looks like parchment paper that some plans might be on.
Very nice. And then she puts in the code to get in down below, and let's see if we can get the code. Yep, we can. It's 1, and she's using her middle finger. 106.
106.
So I wonder if that has anything to do with comic books, although, what is that time? Is that 2:38?
That's what it says there. It might not be the time of day.
Okay, because earlier the TV said it was 10 something.
Mm-hmm. It might not be the time of day, or you pointed out a continuity issue.
I think it's a continuity issue. Can't quite see what the words are that are coming out later. But there's an important thing that I knew from the first time I watched it because I had seen the special features on T2. Terminator 3, actually. In Terminator 3, there's this part where the Terminator is driving a car and he, rips open his abdomen and shows stuff or, takes something out of his chest or something like that. And they showed in the special features that really they had the car on a green screen and he was standing up and they had a fake thing. So imagine this belly is
green
fake
screen
on me.
Yeah.
Because I wish it was fake. No, it's not. It's not green screen. They put a prosthetic on there, so they could cut into the prosthetic while Arnold's actually standing back, and they just trick it with the angle. The thing is, they do the same thing here, except Robert Downey Jr. clearly was working out for so long that in the time span between when they took the molds so they could mimic his body, and the time they filmed this, he gained some muscle. So we see at the 20-second mark, pretty regular size,
pretty average
chest,
sure,
blah, blah, blah. And we'll see it more extreme later. But in the wide shot, where they can't trick him standing, like here, he's kind of standing, they might CG out a little bit of it, but all this from the neck down is fake chest.
Gotcha.
And then when you get that wide shot at 27 seconds, which is walking up, ooh, they got a little more rippling.
A little bit more pecs and upper ribs.
Yeah,
sure.
We'll see it more significantly in a later minute. But all of that is fake. That's how you're able to get the arc reactor actually coming out and seeing the metal inside. It could have been CGI, but they didn't. And we'll see it more in the next minute. But and they confirmed it in the special features. But that was a mold from a few months before filming this scene that they put prosthetics on, and then just really well done with the makeup and the shading of it to mirror it to his arms. The only flaw is the muscles. But yeah, that's another reason why they have the towel over there. So we got the little arm thing in the corner at around 42 seconds nearby helping out.
Shining a light.
Oh yeah, true. I didn't realize he was shining a light. That's a tiny light. Very nicely done.
Sure.
But yeah, we got a bunch of stuff in the background. We have a computer screen at around 33 seconds showing the whole breakdown of his body with the arc reactor in the chest. And let me see, when he pulls it out, I want to see if the background changes. No, it does not. It doesn't show that the arc reactor is not in his chest anymore. But yeah, this is relatively soon after because he's still got some nicks on his eyebrow and stuff. And, I should have seen if he had shaved. I'm just jumping back to the earlier minutes to see if he had already shaved. Yep, he definitely already shaved before he got on that plane. But yeah, any more for this minute?
Can we go back to the time on the door when Pepper's coming into the lab?
All right, so we get the time at the top, 10:04.
Right,
That may have been
right.
the time they recorded the episode, but no. Then on the tablet, it also says 10:04.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we scrub down, it says 2:38.
Now, is that the length of the call? Because the numbers seem to change.
Yeah, it changes from 2:38 to 2:37, but then,
It changes multiple times.
It blinks.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't change from 2:38, It goes from 2:37, and then it just is kind of blinking, and it says 2:38. So I don't know. After she puts in the code, though, it does show her ID name and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a specialized code. It's not one code and everyone gets it.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Did we just point out another continuity error?
For the 2:38?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's a comically large fire extinguisher right by the door. That's much larger than I'm used to.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to read what that is.
That's why I zoomed in.
It's like Purple Pep, some sort of old soft drink we don't know.
Portal Pep? Because it doesn't go below here. Nah.
We don't know.
Yeah, I'll put a screenshot of it. It's right around the 24-second mark. That circular thing that looks like a pizza thing.
Let's not zoom in. I can see it clearer when it's partial. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm putting a screenshot on Instagram, or you can go over to the minute at around 20 seconds when Pepper actually goes in through the door. What that circular thing with Pep on the bottom might be. That was minute 50. Thank you so much. If you're on video, please like, subscribe, and check out those other minutes. If you're on audio, please put ratings, because we'll eat as many bites of New York style pizza with a drop of the bomb on them for every rating. Minimum 5, but max is no limit for me. Possibly no limit for Richard. We'll see. It has to be done by the end of when we post these minutes. But thank you so much. Also, follow the minutes along on Instagram at I Love You 3000 Minutes.
I'm Richard.
I'm Brian.
You've got an army.
We've got a podcast and a fake chest thing so you can put your hand in it. But we won't see that till minute 51.
I can create one of those on him. We can do that. Take care.